Hi everyone, it's time for our maths and I'm hiding in the bottom left of your screen today in a circle. I'm here for this lesson. I'm going to watch it through with you and I'm going to be doing it here. Grown-ups, I'd like some feedback. If you'd prefer me doing this without a presentation, please let me know. If you like the presentation, it'd be good to let me know as well so I can make sure that I'm targeting my teaching for bring the best out of your children. Okay, so I'm going to be with you on this video all about combining two groups including zero.
Hi friends, it's Miss Molnar here and we're going to do some maths today. In today's lesson, we're going to look at combining two parts, but we're also going to include zero, which can make things a little bit tricky. But don't worry, I've brought a friend along to help. Oh, sorry about this. Harold! Come on, Harold, we're starting the maths lesson. I'm so sorry, but Harold's been busy getting into this bowl of grapes here. My goodness, that's a lot of grapes. Well, I wonder if these can come in handy for us. Later on in the lesson, maybe for some counting objects, we'll see. All right, now that we're all here and ready, let's see what you need to get ready to make sure that you're ready to start our lesson. For today's lesson, you will need counting objects. Now, I might use some grapes today for my counting objects, but make sure you ask your parent or carer first before using food. You can use anything that is easy to count with and that you have a few of, but make sure again that you ask a parent or carer. You'll also need a part-whole model. You can find it in the worksheet resources. All right, pause the video now, go grab what you need, and then come back and we can start our learning together. All right, let's start by playing Harold's favorite game. His favorite game to play is I Spy. Have you played I Spy before? I'm sure you've played it before. Well, the way it works is Harold is going to think of a number and he's going to I Spy and see if he can find something in the picture that there are the same number of that he's thinking of. Okay, so he's going to have a think and he's going to share with me what he's spying. All right. Okay. Harold says, I spy with my little eye something that there is 4 of in the picture. Pause the video and have a close look. See if you can find an object that there are 4 of in the picture. Pause the video and we'll come back and discuss some of the things that we found 4 of.
Good luck, guys.
All right, I hope you've had time to pause and look for something in the photo that there are 4 of. Let's go over what I found 4 of. So, I found that there were 1, 2, 3, 4 white flower bushes in the back. Did you find that there was 4 of those? You also could have said that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pink flower bushes in the back as well. That could have been the 4 that you found. Was there anything else that you found 4 of? I spied with my little eye that there were 1, 2, 3, 4 tables in the picture. I'm sure there's lots more 4s that you might have found as well. You can pause the video and keep finding some more 4s if you want. But afterwards, we're going to get started on the rest of our lesson. Okay, we're going to get started on our new Harold is busy again eating those grapes. He just loves them. Well, I guess this could help us with our learning. So, as you can see, Harold really likes red grapes. Miss Molnar really likes the green grapes. Maybe we can use them to help us learn to combine 2 parts. Let's see if we can learn something using these grapes. as you can see here, Harold's got his red grapes and Miss Molnar's got her green grapes. I wonder if we can use them to find out how many grapes the two of us have all together. So let's count how many Harold has. He's got
1, 2, 3,
4.
4.
4 red grapes. 4 can be 1 part. Let's see how much Miss Molnar has. 1, 2, 3. 3 green grapes. 3 is another part. We're going to use something called a part-whole model to help us combine the two amounts to find our whole. All right, so this is my part-whole model, and I'm going to show first Harold's part, his 4 grapes. So in one part we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is 1 part. That represents Harold's amount of grapes. In the other part, we're going to represent Miss Molnar's amount of grapes. So Miss Molnar has got 1, 2, and 3 grapes.
It doesn't matter that the pot-hole model that we're looking at is squares. We've been used to doing it with circles. Draw one out however you want. The whole point of this is to understand about the splitting up of numbers and about how the stopping number shows how many there are all together.
3 is my other part. Let's see if we can do this without them rolling away. So there we go. We have our 2 parts. We've got 4 is a part, 3 is a part. And now what we need to do is we need to combine them together to find our whole. So what I need to do is I'm going to take my part 4 and my part 3, and I'm going to put them together. So let's count how many there are all together now to find our whole. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4 plus 3 is equal to 7. So that means that Harold and I all together, we've got 7 grapes left. I bet those aren't going to last very long with him around. All right, we're going to try another one. Let's see if we can see how many grapes Miss Molnar and Harold have all together again. All right, so Miss Molnar remembers the green grapes. She's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green grapes. So that means 5 is a part. Now Harold has... Wait a second. Harold... Oh, goodness me. Harold has eaten all of his red grapes. So what does this mean when I'm adding to find out how much we have all together? If Harold doesn't have anything for a part, I wonder what that's called.
Who can remember?
That's right. It's called 0. Miss Molnar's got 5 for her part, and Harold's got 0. Let's see what that looks like on our part-whole model. All right, so remember, Miss Molnar had 5 green grapes. So that means I need to put 5 in one of my parts. So I've got 1, 2, hopefully they don't roll away on me, 3, 4, and 5. 5 is a part. Now, remember we said that Harold doesn't have any red grapes. So, what is that going to represent in my part? What am I going to put inside this part if he doesn't have any red grapes? If you said nothing, well done. You're right. I don't have another part to add. I've got 0 to add to my part of 5. So, I still want to figure out how many we have all together. I wonder what happens when we add 0 to a number. Let's find out. So, just like last time, I'm going to take my parts and I'm going to add them together. So, I'm going to move them into my hole. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've added my part 5, and I'm going to add my 0 to 5. Do I have any grapes to bring to my hole? No, there's no grapes because 0 is part of my number sentence. So, if I add 0 to a number, my number is going to stay exactly the same because I have not added any more grapes. Let's count to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could say 5 plus 0 is equal to 5. Harold didn't have any grapes to add in the end. Well done, everyone. Well, it looks like we've run out of grapes now to do our counting with. That's okay. I think we can find something else to help us count. Silly Harold. Oh, don't feel too bad, Harold, about eating all of those grapes, because look, we found some more food up on the screen. This time, we want to find out how much fruit there is all together. How many apples do you see on the screen? That's right, there are 2 apples. That means 2 is one of our parts. How many bananas do you see on the screen? That's right, there's 2 bananas, so 2 is our other part. Let's see how we can use our part-whole model to help us figure out how many pieces of fruit there are all together. All right, we're going to represent our parts, our fruit, on the part-whole model. Remember, we've got our 2 parts and we've got our whole at the top. We could also turn our part-whole model this way, and we still have the 2 parts and our whole here. It doesn't matter which way we turn it around, it's still a part-whole model. I'm going to use it this way today. So, remember how many apples we had? 2, that's right. So I'm going to get some cubes as my counting objects to represent them. Remember, we said you need to ask a parent or carer to ask them about what objects you can use to count for this lesson. So I'm going to get my 2 objects to represent my 2 apples. So I've got 1, 2. 2 is a part, and it represents my 2 apples. Do you remember how many bananas there were? That's right, there were 2 bananas. So I'm going to get 2 cubes to represent them. 1, 2. 2 bananas. So I've got 2 is a part, 2 is a part. Now, we want to combine them together to find our whole. So I'm going to take my part, which is 2, and my other part, which is 2, combine them together to get my whole. Can you count to see how much our whole is?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Let's count together to see if you are right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well done. 4 is our whole, or we have 4 pieces of fruit all together. We could also say 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Fantastic learning, everyone. All right, let's use these sentence stems to help us explain what we just did. See if of you can help me say it out loud together.
There are 2 apples.
There are 2
bananas.
The whole
is
4.
2 plus 2
is equal to 4. Well done, everyone. All right. What we're going to get you to do now is we think that you're ready for a go. So you're going to pause the video, and then we want you to do the exact same. You need to get your counting objects, you need to get your part-whole model, and we want you to try and use these sentence stems to explain your adding together. Can you tell us how many of the objects you see? Can you tell us how many each part is? And then can you tell us what the whole is? All right, pause the video, get your materials, and we'll come back together to talk about our learning. All right, how did you find that, everyone? Let's go through some of it out loud together. We're going to start with the trees and the nest. Let's see if we can say it out loud together. There are 2 trees. There
is one
nest. Well done. So that means the whole is going to be 3. Were you able to show that with your cubes and your part-whole model? Well done. So if we were going to say that in a number sentence, we could say that 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Fantastic effort, everyone. All right, let's go over to the one with the shirts and the hats. All right, there is how many hats, everyone?
1.
Good. There is 1 hat. There are 5 shirts.
5.
So that means the whole is going to be 6. 1 plus 5 is equal to 6. Way to go, everyone. All right. You've been getting so good at using the language of part and whole and using your counting objects to combine 2 groups that we think that you're ready for your main task. So what you're going to do is you're going to look at each of these 4 boxes. You're going to start with one of them, and you're going to combine the 2 parts to find the whole. You can use your counting objects, your part-whole model, and of course your counting skills to find out how much there is all together. But there might be a little bit of a trick this time. Let's start by looking at the box with the apples in it. Do you see a different part than the apples? I only see apples, so I know that I'm going to count the apples to be 1 part. What is my other part going to be? I'll give you a clue.
0.
Do you remember back to the beginning of the lesson when Miss Molnar was trying to figure out how many grapes she had and how many grapes Harold had all together? Remember when Harold was a bit cheeky and he ate up all the rest of the grapes? Remember, there was only Miss Molnar's part to count. What did we end up calling Harold's part? 0, that's right. Okay, I think I've given you enough of a hint now. So, we want you to pause the video, go complete your task, and then we'll come back together and we'll talk about our learning. All right, hopefully you've had some time to get on with your main task. We're going to take a look at this picture specifically. So I'm going to represent my 2 parts and the whole for those pictures of the frogs. So remember we said there were 3 frogs. So I'm going to count it with my cubes. 1, 2, 3. 3 is a part. So I'm going to put them in this part. Now, what was our other part? Were there any other animals? No, there were no more animals within that box. So we know that my other part here is nothing or 0. I don't have another part to add to the 3. Now I need to figure out how much I have all together in my whole. So what I need to do is take my parts and add them together. So 3 plus 0 is equal to, that's right, it's equal to 3. Because when I add 0 to a number, my number will stay the same. Fantastic job, everyone. Well, that concludes our learning together today on combining 2 parts, including 0. We thought we'd get a little bit tricky there for you today. Well, we hope you had a great time today, and we'd really like it if
And
you
I
took a
hope you've had a
picture of
great
your
time today
learning
too.
and shared it with your teacher so they can see all the amazing learning you've done today. And if you'd like to, you can share your learning with
me, actually. If you want to send anything through on Evidence Me, I'd love to see it. Again, parents, please let me know how this is going. Carers, enjoy your learning. Bye.